Hello again. Welcome to another episode of Brenda's Musings. So today I want to talk to you about conversations. And what sort of a conversationalist are you? Are you the type of person who loves, deep conversations that have multiple layers and you peel back the layers? Are you the type of person who likes to have more surface conversation and maybe just observe what's going on around you and not necessarily get into the deep, heavy stuff? Are you the type of person who loves philosophical conversations and, the what ifs, that kind of a thing? What sort of a conversationalist are you? If you're to meet somebody and you feel some sort of connection and you wanted to get to know more about them, how would you go about that? Sorry about this cough still. How would you go about that? Would you ply them with questions one after the other, in a natural format? I don't mean just fling them at them. Or maybe you would. Maybe that's your style. You just fling questions at somebody. Do you just enjoy, having a conversation about, getting to know them on a very sort of surface level? What do you do? What's your family like? Where do you go to, not did you go to school, but, where did you go to school or something like that? Or, what's your favorite color? That kind of thing. Or, do you ask, deep philosophical questions about, the meaning of life and that kind of stuff? There are just so many different ways that we can get to know each other, and we can get to know, what's important to us. And sometimes you get into conversations that might be triggering of some sort. Like, excuse me, so sorry. Might be things like, might lead to those territories that we're told never to go to, like politics and religion. Maybe, particularly if you meet somebody from a different culture, like there's so many questions we might have about that culture. And each answer might take us, on a different pathway to find out more information. Or, different areas of the country in which people live. There are so many, even, within North America, there's just so many little subcultures that happen, that go on. And different, favorite dishes, for example, or different hobbies, or, I don't know. There's just, it's totally endless, almost, what it is that we can talk about. So when you get into a conversation, what sort of conversation do you get into? And of course, it's going to depend on the people and yada, 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 and, where you are at the time. And, you're not going to get into a deep philosophical conversation, probably at a bar where you can barely hear each other speak. Excuse me. But you might do that if you're sitting in a park somewhere. Or you might do that, over a game of chess. Although usually over a game of chess, most people don't talk. But, what are some... I'm so sorry. What are some of the things that that help guide you when you're having a conversation? Do you read somebody's body language? Do you, quote, read the room? Do you enjoy making somebody really stop and think about something and give you, what you hope to be their, like a deep answer to a question? Sometimes people, find it hard if you ask them a question that makes them think, because people are sort of conditioned to answer questions as soon as they're asked. And one of the things that we don't generally tend to do is give people time to reflect. We don't give them time to stop and think about, what the answer to that question might really mean to them. And so it's important when you ask a question to really learn to listen as well and to hear, and then maybe let that answer guide you to the next question. Anyway, that's my musing for the day. Have a great one, everyone.